They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
All right, guys. Gonna be completely honest here. I need your help. I need you to go down to the comment section. I need you to tell me what videos do you want to see in the future. I am almost out of ideas. I mean, we've been making a video every single day for the past 2 to 3 months, something in that range. And I can go to just doing a recap at the end of every night. I don't necessarily know if that's what y'all would want to do. I don't know if that's interesting. If that is what you want to watch, let me know. I know that occasionally we can do a buy video, we can do a sell video, we can do a waiver wire video. Outside of that, I've been trying to get a little bit more creative, like the video that we are going to make today. But if you have any ideas out of the box, any ideas that you think other people would like to watch, let me know. And yeah, down in the comment section, also ask me any questions that you have, as I'm going to be down there looking for suggestions anyway, and I'll try to answer as many as I can. And drop a like, subscribe, y'all already know that. And that's it. Let's get into this video. And in this video, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be going through some names I picked out that are at the very top of fantasy basketball rankings. And we're going to try to determine, are they worth the price? Are they correctly valued where they can bring you a fantasy basketball title? Or should you possibly go out there and should you look to sell them? And the first player we need to talk about, because everybody's talking about him, is going to be Anthony Davis. Now, obviously, Anthony Davis is going to be missing a significant amount of time, I want to say, for the Los Angeles Lakers. Right now, they're saying he's going to miss about 3 to 4 weeks. They're saying he's going to come back around March 11th. Now, personally, knowing that the Los Angeles Lakers are obviously the top title contender for 2021, I would be surprised if we see Anthony Davis rush back around that March 11th mark. I think we're actually probably going to see him a little bit closer to March 18th. So kind of exactly a month from now, just knowing that this team with LeBron James, with Anthony Davis, and with a better supporting cast than last season, really does not need to make sure they are locking up the number 1 seed. We know that this team has been coasting through the regular season, just making sure they're saving it for the playoffs, as they had the shortest offseason that we have ever had. So I think it makes the most sense for them to make sure they're not prioritizing every single random win in the middle of February, in the middle of March, and instead making sure that their star players are going to be good to go. Now, don't ask me why they are deciding to let LeBron James play the most minutes in the entire NBA, because I don't have an answer for that. But what I do have an answer with is what we should be doing with Anthony Davis after this injury. And right now, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say, unless you have a team that has only had 1, maybe 2 losses so far this season, I want to be selling Anthony Davis. And I know that is crazy. I know Anthony Davis was a top 5 pick in fantasy basketball. But because of what I just said, that we are going to expect him to miss more games than his initial projection, because the Los Angeles Lakers should be extremely safe in deciding when to bring him back. And on top of that, when he gets brought back, we don't know now if he's going to be playing back-to-backs. We don't know now if his minutes are going to be capped until we get closer to the postseason. And even if they're not, even if he continues to play his 33 minutes a game that he has been seeing so far this year, I mean, these numbers, while they're, yes, elite, they're not Anthony Davis elite. We go through, you look at his field goal percentage, 53%. Obviously, that's a fine number with the amount of shots he is putting up. But you go over to his free throw percentage, hovering around 70%. We know we do not like to see that for category leagues. We know Anthony Davis also isn't going to be a guy putting up a ton of shots from beyond the arc. Now, yes, he's going to give you points. He's averaging almost 23 points a game currently. But the one problem is he pretty much has never averaged this few rebounds per game if you look throughout his entire NBA career, or at least the past 5 or 6 years, where he's only averaging 8 rebounds a game currently, 3 assists a game, so not really blowing anything out of the water there. Now, the defensive numbers, yeah, obviously, it's Anthony Davis. Obviously, Anthony Davis is a top 3 defender in the NBA every single year. So the steals, the blocks, they're going to be great. But if we look across the board and we go, holy crap, Anthony Davis is seeing 8 rebounds a game, not 11. Anthony Davis is not scoring 26 points a game, he's scoring 22. I think we go, yeah, this is a fantastic player, but he's not a player that's worth a top 5 selection. So if you can go out there, especially if you're a team that's middle of the road right now, and you need to make sure that you're picking up wins for the fantasy playoffs, I think, yeah, you're not going to be selling him at his highest point, but it kind of sucks. I mean, and you got unlucky. He got injured. So go out there, sell him, try to get some points in your lineup now. Try to guarantee yourself that you are going to get to the fantasy football playoffs. And so I know that doesn't necessarily sound like I'm telling you to trade for a player who is also injured, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn around, tell you to trade for someone that's going to be giving you immediate production, and I'm going to be telling you to trade for Christian Wood. And I know that's surprising. Obviously, Wood has the ankle injury, but right now, Wood is on track to come back February 22nd. Obviously, this is not a hard date. He could miss an extra game or two, but he's going to be back within the week. At the very end, he's going to be back maybe 7-8 days. So you're going to have Wood for an extra 2 to 4 weeks. Then you're going to have Anthony Davis. And on top of that, we know that you're going to get an additional piece on with Christian Wood, as he just doesn't have close to the same name brand that Anthony Davis carries. Yet if you look at the statistics right now, they're not that far apart. I mean, we go through the field goal percentage. Christian Wood actually has a higher field goal percentage than Anthony Davis for those category leagues. You go out, Christian Wood is averaging 2 3-point shots made a game. Anthony Davis is less than 1. You go out, they're both averaging 22 points a game, but Christian Wood, on the other hand, is averaging 10 rebounds compared to 8. Now, outside of that, yeah, Anthony Davis has him on assists, steals, and blocks, but like I'm saying, they're neck and neck. They're not nearly the same type of talents for their NBA teams. But if we're talking about pure statistics, with Anthony Davis kind of just making sure he makes it to the NBA postseason 100% healthy, I think that the output between Christian Wood and Anthony Davis is going to be a lot closer than a lot of people want to assume. Then you're going to get extra time with Christian Wood over Anthony Davis. And on top of that, you can get an extra piece added on in trade. So yeah, I think that is kind of a no-brainer. Right now, I think that we have to label Anthony Davis as a sell, and we have to label Christian Wood as a superstar. And now, let's go to our next player, and this is going to be someone that I didn't get asked a question about him, but I just want to bring him up because I was completely surprised. And with Bam Adebayo, I mean, right now, he is having a fantastic season, especially if you're playing in those category leagues. Now, I will say that let's just talk about category leagues just for Bam, because that's the type of player that you want in these leagues, where he is averaging 57% from the field. He is averaging 84% from the free throw line. Now, this is kind of perplexing. One of the very few players that can shoot this well from the free throw line without taking any three-point shots a game. And on top of that, he's giving you every other category. So even if you're playing in a points league, right now, Bam is like the 16th player in points per game, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5.5 assists, a steal and a block a game. I mean, right now, Bam looks like a contributor regardless of what type of format you're playing in. And there's no reason to expect this production to go anywhere. I mean, maybe you could come out and say that the Miami Heat could look to add someone, as they are needing someone else on the wing. But outside of that, I mean, I think that we have to call Bam, who is currently, I don't want to say you're running the Miami Heat offense, but he is definitely a driving force in it. A player that is a star for fantasy purposes, stacking up every single category. All right, now let's go to a player that I told y'all to sell high a long time ago, and this is Jaylen Brown. So while, yes, I don't want to get any Boston Celtics fans mad. I know Jaylen Brown looks like one of the best young two-way players in the entire NBA. I mean, if you had to stack up players that are the most valuable given their contracts, their age, and their team situations for the long haul, Jaylen Brown is going to be very high up on that list. But what we are talking about right now is we are talking about fantasy production in 2021. So when we're looking at a player like Jaylen Brown, the reason I was wanting to sell a few weeks ago, whenever he was a top 10 asset in fantasy basketball, is because his mid-range shot was unsustainable. That was something that was easy to see. I'm sure you heard a lot of people talking about it, not just myself. And then on top of that, we knew that there were going to be more players coming into the rotation. I mean, Jason Tatum missed a significant amount of time, so Jaylen Brown was getting more shots up. Kemba Walker missed a good amount of time as well. So Jaylen Brown pretty much was the entire Boston Celtics team, whereas since then, he's, I don't want to say taken a full step back, but he's definitely trended in the opposite direction. And I mean, he is going to be putting up a ridiculous amount of points night in and night out, but he's not going to be fantastic with assists. He's not going to be fantastic with rebounds. I mean, he's only seeing 5 rebounds a game, 3 assists a game at the same time. So with Jaylen Brown, he's exciting. I know that so many Celtics fans are going to be upset with this in the comment section below. So many people who bought into Jaylen Brown are going to be upset with this at the same time. But I think while he could be the star for the NBA, I think he should be a sell for our fantasy basketball leagues. All right, so now let's go to our next player that we are going to talk about. And this is someone that I told you all not to draft in 2021. This is someone that has been on fire as of late. This is Zion Williamson. So yeah, guys, I understand. I mean, Zion's field goal percentage is absolutely ridiculous for how many shots he's putting up. I mean, right now, Zion is putting up over 15 shots per game and making about 10 of them. I mean, he has a 62% field goal percentage, which you never see from a player with that type of volume. But everything's in the paint. You are not having any of that production come from three-point range, and less than you would expect for the body type of Zion Williamson is coming from free throws, and that's due to the fact that Zion is sitting around 70% at his free throw percentage. So although for category leagues he is completely carrying you in field goal percentage, for those same category leagues he could be tanking you with free throws without you realizing it. But also let's talk about point leagues. Let's talk about what else he is doing. We know he's not giving you any 3-point shots a game. And yes, I mean, he's averaging 25 points a game, which is fantastic. And this is what we are expecting with Zion Williamson coming into the season. But what we are also expecting with a quote-unquote big man was that he was not going to be up there with rebounds. I mean, you look at a player like Clint Capella, who's averaging 14 rebounds a game, then go over to Zion Williamson, who's averaging only 6.5. Obviously, that is a massive difference that we have to take note of. And yes, we can get away with the big man who's only going to average 6.5 rebounds if he is going to come with elite points and decent assist with defensive numbers. But that's not what you're getting from Zion. With Zion, you're getting 3 assists a game, and the defensive stats really aren't there. I mean, Zion, I did not expect this, but has been a very, very, very poor defender, not only in fantasy basketball, but also in NBA standards at the same time. But all we care about is fantasy basketball, and he's averaging less than a block a game. He's averaging only 1 steal a game to go along with that. So for Zion Williamson, yeah, very similar to Jaylen Brown. I mean, I am completely fine saying that he could be the future of the NBA. I'm completely fine saying that he is an elite scorer in the paint currently. But for those fantasy basketball leagues where we need rebounds, we need assists, I think that we are going to be looking to sell Zion Williamson. All right, now, thank you guys. Like I said, please go down to the comment section. Let me know what you want to hear about because I'm running out of ideas. Go down there, let me know, and I will see y'all with the video tomorrow.